Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the government shoring up the nation's #1 industry. Find out how they plan to attract more visitors to our shores. You've heard rumors that the roadwork project is costing more than the government anticipated. Tonight, we talk to the Works Minister about this issue. And a new slate of Bahamians joining that all-exclusive group of college graduates. Today, it's Macquarie International College. And after years of toiling, members of Evangelistic Temple move into their new state-of-the-art sanctuary. We're there for the celebration. Stay close. The Bahamas Tonight Sunday edition starts right now.
Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
New laws expected to come on stream to establish and maintain standards in the #1 industry. It's great to have you with us for the Sunday edition. Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Clint Watson reporting tonight. The government is actively reviewing legislation meant to assist the private sector in meeting and maintaining good standards in their tourist-related facilities. This from Prime Minister Hubert Ingram as he spoke to a room of hotel executives and professionals from the Bahamas Hotel Association at its recent luncheon. And with the review underway, the nation's leader is encouraging tourism executives to maintain high standards in their product as it will benefit the entire country as we pull ourselves out of perhaps the worst economic recession of modern times.
Tourism, the general quality of life for Bahamians, and more people getting involved in volunteerism, community service, it continues to get even better in the Bahamas.
And that by no means comes easy. In fact, Prime Minister Hubert Ingram has been busy with his administration putting in place a necessary framework to ensure this paradise destination becomes the envy of the region and the destination of millions worldwide.
Recent amendments expanding the businesses and properties eligible to receive concessions under the Hotels Encouragement Act and the enactment of the City of Nassau Revitalization Act have already served to stimulate important investments in the upgrade of hotel properties, restaurants and shopping facilities in areas frequented by tourists.
Mr. Ingram says it has also resulted in increased participation by Bahamians in tourism-related businesses. Much is being done to improve the landscape of the Bahamas, in particular New Providence, to provide that all-inclusive and once-in-a-lifetime experience for the millions of tourists who will visit. From a more than $400 million transformation to the Lyndon Pilling International Airport to the creation of new highways, refurbishment of infrastructure and utilities to the massive Bay Street and the City of Nassau revitalization. The Prime Minister expressed the government's satisfaction with the continued high standards and performance of the country's flagship property, Atlantis, and the one and only Ocean Club, and with the on-time progress being achieved in the development of Bahamar.
It is our hope that we'll be able to meet the challenge of attracting sufficient visitors to our country to provide both of these mega resorts with a level of room occupancy and at room rates required to sustain both properties and permit them to prosper in a high quality and high cost destination.
Prime Minister Ingram also noting with pleasure the continued robust development at Albany, as well as the continuous upgrade and upkeep of smaller and boutique hotels like Sandals on Cable Beach and Exuma, Breezes Winding Bay, and Baker's Bay in Abaco and Club Med in San Salvador. But with greater anticipation is a welcoming of new investment projects that were perhaps delayed.
We look forward to the realization of hotel and resort investment placed on hold due to the economic recession, whether on Cat Island, in Grand Bahama, or on Eleuthera. With the coming on stream of Ballaree's Bahamas Express in Grand Bahama, passenger lift to Grand Bahama will hopefully increase visitor arrivals on that island in support of hotel properties there, including our Lucaya, Pelican Bay, Old Bahama Bay, and Deepwater Key among them.
The Bahamas Hotel Association has played an instrumental role in the development of the tourism product through training and educational opportunities for industry professionals at all levels. The association has also been commended by the Prime Minister for their initiative to inform Bahamians studying overseas about developments and opportunities here at home and entice them to return to work in the industry upon completion of their studies. The nation's leader concluded with this bit of encouraging news.
It looks like we might have a very good winter season. United States unemployment rate is declining, and barring some unforeseen circumstances, things ought to be better.
On to another story that many of you are concerned about. Additional funding will be required to complete the New Providence Road Improvement Project. The original amount was pegged at $120 million, while the Democratic National Alliance feels the government will need an extra $40 million. The Minister of Public Works, Nico Grant, says the extra amount has still not been determined. But he says once that number is made available, the Bahamian people will be informed. And he gives these reasons for the financial increase of the roadworks.
There will be some cost increase in the New Providence infrastructure project. You'd be aware of the many challenges we've had with that. Primarily among them was the continuous identification of undocumented utilities, which has slowed the progress considerably. There are other factors that will contribute to the increase in costs, among them the increase of oil.
Now, when asked if the government is seeking to attract another construction firm to complete the road improvement project, Grant says not necessarily.
That is not so. The Prime Minister did mention that we were seeking the assistance of some additional engineers to expedite the process, but it's not a new company.
Now, bad roads aren't only a concern in the capital, but also on Harbor Island. In fact, residents have complained about this issue for some time now. But tonight, there is good news. The Ministry of Public Works now has plans to complete the roads in Harbor Island before the end of the Yuletide season. LaDon Davis spoke to the minister on the issue and has this update.
Harbor Island may be 3.5 miles long, but residents say driving on a paved road on the island is far few and in between. You see, for many years, just over 2,000 residents were forced to use extra caution and care while driving golf carts and personal vehicles due to the road conditions. Minister of Public Works and Transport Nico Grant says he has heard the cries of residents and is assuring them that it's all about to change very soon. Mr. Grant says a second contract to complete the roadworks on Harbor Island has already been approved.
Water and Sewage has had to do some works. Regrettably, they did not properly reinstate the roads. We are now faced with having to do the roads that they have worked on in Phase 2. The Cabinet has approved a contract for some $1.2 million for the repair of the remaining roads in Harbor Island. We seek to get the contractor mobilized as soon as possible. We hope to do that within the next week to 10 days.
Now, if you visited Harbor Island, you will notice that road repairs are widespread, deterring customers from businesses and even crippling the bottom line for many small and medium-sized companies. According to Mr. Grant, a contractor will be mobilized on the island, and he is apologizing for the inconvenience.
He will do some work, some remedial work, that will provide the residents of Harbor Island, as well as our many visitors, some degree of comfort during the Yuletide season, and we would hope to commence intensive repairs in the new year.
The Minister of Public Works says the government will be executing a long list of contracts in the coming weeks to upgrade road in other parts of the country. LaDon Davis, ZNS News.
Well, Bahamians who have not registered are still being urged to do so, as the Parliamentary Registration Department very soon will be preparing to issue voters' cards. This follows the passing of the Boundaries Report, which has reduced the number of seats to 38 and adjustments to various polling divisions. Parliamentary Commissioner Errol Bethel and his team are busy making contact with persons in our community.
We have to actually act on the report in terms of placing people, and so we have been doing a tremendous amount of work getting ready to make that change to reflect the Boundaries Report in terms of the constituency. And then also those persons have to be placed in polling divisions. And so we have been doing quite a lot of work. We want to make sure that people are placed in the correct constituency and the polling division. And so we are looking at that. And my people, I must praise my entire staff, because they have been really working extremely hard, looking at all the information we have, and also making contact with people out in the field.
Well, during the wrap-up of debate on the Boundaries Report in the House of Assembly last week, Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham announced a late amendment to the bill, restoring the Anglican name to the constituency and retiring the St. Cecilia name with its only MP, former Deputy Prime Minister Cynthia Pratt. The Prime Minister likened the move to that in the sporting world, when famous athletes' numbers are retired with them. Well, following the announcement, our news team spoke with Mother Pratt outside of the House to get her response to this historic move.
I'm honored I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God and to the Bahamian people, particularly the people of St. Cecilia, who has actually supported me these many years and who've been with me through thick and thin. We've had ups and downs, and they stuck with me. And so you feel that you have done something to make a difference. That's what's important. You've given your best, and you try to do the things that you feel will help improve their lives. That's why we offer ourselves as servants of the people.
Well, she says it's mixed emotions, but she realizes that there comes a time when her season has ended. She's also grateful to her colleagues and late husband who stood beside her. Mother Pratt is humbled to have the name St. Cecilia retire with her, having had the privilege of being the only MP to represent the constituency under this name, as it was first introduced when she ran for the first time and won.
It now has retired when I am retiring, and really, I'm retiring from frontline politics, but I'm not retiring from service. I think I need to make that very clear, because if I'm called upon to help with some other capacity or wherever I can, I'm not saying I will rule that out. I'm just saying that I'm retiring from frontline politics.
Well, a busy parliamentary session will soon come to an end. Over the past year, various pieces of legislation were debated and passed in the House. At times, those sittings got quite confrontational. But House Speaker the Honorable Alvin Smith had to ensure that order was maintained. We asked the House Speaker his views on the quality of debates in the House.
I am not pleased with the level of many of the debates that we've had. The most recent debate we've had on crime, I thought it was a good debate. We've had some contributions of much substance. I thought it was a good debate, because also there were times when I thought there was some irrelevance, and then there were times when I didn't think the level of seriousness that ought to have been displayed was present.
According to Mr. Smith, members of the public are seeking more substances and relevancy from House members on those national issues which go before Parliament.
Bills come to Parliament, resolutions come to Parliament, and the Bahamian people, in my view, they want to be enlightened, they want to be educated, they want to know more about what is happening in Parliament. They don't care that much, in my view, from what seems to be the attached entertainment of some of the contributions and some of what takes place in Parliament. They really want to understand what the government's proposing, what are the opposition's views on the government's proposal, and then so they can make a decision as to which view seems to be the better one.
And ahead on the Sunday edition, a long and exciting awaited day for the members of Evangelistic Temple as they move into their new sanctuary. That story when your news leader comes right back.